Hello, everyone. Welcome to Telepathy Tuesday here at Intuitive Garden Tarot. My name is Nicole, and I'm going to be doing a special reading today, trying to connect with the members of the Hill. And if you don't know what that is, I'll put a link in the description box below for you to check out the Telepathy Tapes podcast. What I am doing here is connecting with whatever message wants to come through from the collective group of people that are members of the Hill, which is a community where non speaking and unreliably speaking autistic people meet in the ethers in a I call it a virtual space. It's real space, but it's not any tangible location where they can meet and communicate with each other and share. Last week, just as an experiment, I tapped into a message and it seemed to be relatively okay. But I realized after the fact, as I was still getting some information, that it is such a broad group of individuals and there are so many messages to be shared from this space of the Hill. So in meditation yesterday, I connected with my higher self and my guidance and tuned into how I can hone in to maybe a more specific, more clear message that wants to come through. And the message I received was to tune into whatever color the communication wants to come through for the week. So I'm going to just take a moment to meditatively go inward and see what color frequency comes through, and that will kind of narrow down again what wants to be expressed from the Hill, because there's so much information, there's so many individuals that communicate there. Where do you start? So I think that's going to help them as well as me get a more clear line of communication. So if you'll just bear with me, I am going to tune in to my guidance and see what color comes through. I'm seeing gold and I'm seeing a reddish gold, so I'm just waiting to see if the color frequency gets more clear. Yeah, it's more like a rust color almost. That's the color frequency that we're going to be communicating through today. All right. So thank you for that information, members of the Hill. And let's start with a message from the garden to get a tone on the breaking news from the Hill this week. All right, I'm excited. One more. Passion. Beetroot. And we have Leo energy as well here. So fire. We're in the fire element for sure. And I see what looks to me like a love potion. So good start, guys. Let's see what the message is and what deck is going to bring the message through the most clearly. We have the Star Tarot deck, and it is ready to go. All right, guys. What is the message that you are passionate about, or that is about passion? Ooh, Ace of Cups. More love, of course. Ooh, the Lovers. Nine of Wands. King of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Three of Wands. And Two of Wands. So wands are also fire energy. Beautiful. All right, let me tune into more of the details of this message. Again, this is so cute. This could be our logo. This is the message from the hill. This is in the background, and this is indicating the communication that's coming through from their sacred space that they hold for each other and themselves. This is beautiful. And they really are holding that line between frequencies of the light and the dark. Very connected to the cosmos. All right. So there is just an outpouring of love and passion and excitement coming through for this week's message. We have the Eight of Cups. Gorgeous energy of renewal, peace, love. So much about self-love. It's very cleansing. It's a very pure love and a very purifying love, a healing love. And I can even just hear right there, ding, it is magic. Okay, so their message this week is that there is a ton of cosmic, heavenly magic infused in the frequency of love. And I think they're very passionate about that. It is just coming through loud and clear. And I love how this Ace of Cups, this one cup, is just seated on this lotus flower, which represents enlightenment and, you know, reaching out to the spiritual realm, our spiritual energy. And I want to draw your attention to this moon at the bottom here, which is just like the moon at the bottom here. So they are here to help us really anchor in that cosmic love that is in our hearts, kind of like a power pack or a time capsule, if you will, that's been packed into us and isn't fully activated yet. Ooh, is that exciting? And go back to last week's message. I'll also put a link for that in the description box, because I did get a visual from one particular individual about how their heart is running on 6 cylinders. And I think they're indicating that ours can and will too, but there's just an activation that is taking place and needs to continue to take place to basically open up those channels that have been clogged in our own heart systems, is how I'm hearing it. Oh, I love it. And look at this purple light coming through this bird of peace. It is so miraculous, and it is, I'm hearing in that Christ frequency, for those of you that resonates with, but it is a beautiful high level of love that is coming in and filling us up right now. Wow. Okay. And this is, again, their agreement. The Lover's card here, which comes next, is showing me basically they represent the archangel angelic realm that is depicted here on the top of this card. And they are here to help infuse that magical high level frequency, peaceful love down into earth, down into our relationships, into our heart centers. Look at how that white bird there is this same white bird. I mean, this is gorgeous how this message is really woven together with messages upon messages, and no surprise there, because these are very high level individuals sharing this message through me. I'm so excited. At the center of this reading, we have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is solidly connected to the earth realm, the physical plane. He's grounded, he's anchored, he's very productive and successful in providing. And what they want us to know is we are so protected with this bear spirit on both sides of this king, by really trusting and anchoring and partnering with, being in relationship to, I'm feeling like massaging the earth, grooming the earth. We're going to unlock and unleash the magic of other realms. Look at this unicorn that has this, I don't know what, this tail doesn't look like a typical unicorn tail to me. It almost looks like the tail of a tiger or some other animal, like it's some hybrid energy. But there is so much magical earth energy that we haven't even tapped into yet, because we still have to participate in the earth's healing. Oh, and as we do, and as we connect more with integrity to the energy of the earth, those, so to speak, mythical creatures actually do exist in a dimension that we can't see yet. Some people do, a lot of people do, and frankly, more and more people are tapping into this otherworldly realms. There's more than one, inner earth, whatever you might call it. I'm hearing the mists of Avalon, but there is, I was just drawn to the light and dark side of the moon right here. I have never noticed that before. And remember, the moon is showing up on other cards as well. And the light and dark side of things. Here's the moon. Here's the moon again. So that is highlighting again that everything has a shadow side, including the earth and the underworld or the other realms. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But when we're anchored into our hearts, and Nancy Rebecca, I'm also going to mention that it's not just the heart energy, it has to be anchored all the way down through the heart into the earth, as they're showing us right here. That we really can rely on our heart compass to guide us, and to tune into our protective energies, the energies around us that are always here, always wanting to support us, but we need to be in communication with them. And the communication will be clear and sharp when we work through some of the shadows that might still be blocking our heart function. And those shadows would be heart wounds. Whatever emotions we've experienced, and our ancestors as well that have come through us into this lifetime, whatever emotions we've experienced or been overwhelmed by, being heartbroken, crushed, feeling very angry, so angry and out of control, that it just is so difficult to experience. Those types of shadowy emotions are what block us from the beauty of experiencing the other realms here on earth. It's apparently available to all of us, but we have to have, I just keep hearing sharp clarity. I can feel those points of that star in his heart, and how it doesn't show up on the camera, but there is a blue slash silvery light that I've been seeing in my own meditations for the past, month or so, month and a half now. So this is really resonating with me personally. When we reach a certain frequency is what they mean by that silvery blue light, where we're more in the light of truth. We will be able to connect with the magic that is and always has been all around us. Wow, gorgeous message. Moving on to the Seven of Pentacles. Notice all those butterflies flying out of the garden in front of this woman. And again, it's really highlighting how heart clarity and heart coherence are very important. And again, that is most completely achieved by going all the way down into your root chakra. Don't stop here, because if we don't have chakras 3, 2, and 1 involved, that heart energy isn't anchored into a tangible form that we can work with. Okay, so it's not to negate the importance and the beauty of the heart energy, but this is to emphasize that we're not able to fully access it until it's anchored into the earth. We are here connected to the earth. We are part of the earth. Sometimes I think somebody's described it as we're like the neurons of earth. I like to think of it as like we're all the little hairs on the skin of earth. That is what the human beings might represent. Excuse me. But either way, we're not going to tap into the full capacity of our creative abilities if we don't anchor all the way down into the earth, which is why this King of Pentacles has his hands gripping onto that tree that is rooted down into the earth. We must be connected wholly and fully to the earth energy to maximize the experience here on earth. And I'm hearing be patient. This is a spiritual job, and this is something we all need to do inside ourselves. This cannot be done for us while having healing treatments or healing modalities with others on the physical realm or even the energetic realm, having an energy healing or Reiki healing session, that type of thing. Those definitely can help for sure, but we can't rely on that completely. We can get a helping hand from outside people, energies, but it's ultimately up to us to pull all that together and drive our own bus forward in our own lane. No one can do that for us. But there is a ton of magic, and a ton of magic in the earth, again, is coming through, as well as healing. Herbs are very important and supportive. Any herbs for heart health are coming through as a recommendation from the hill. Thank you, guys. I know, I'm pretty sure thyme is one herb, and you can get a tincture of thyme extract. You can ingest thyme as a fresh herb. I highly recommend, if you're going to ingest herbs, that they be freshly grown and not purchased in a bottle, because too many of them have been irradiated, microwaved, and the flavor is fully there, but the nutrients aren't. So what I do is sometimes I'll buy those packages of fresh thyme or dill, and it's more than I need for one recipe or before they go bad in the fridge. So what I'll do is maybe I'll enjoy some of it for a few days in its fresh, moist, hydrated form, but then I will lay out those herbs on a cutting board and just let them dry in the air, and then they haven't been microwaved to a dried state, and then I can put them in a container, crumble them up, and use them in my recipes when I choose at any time. So I recommend that thyme. I said thyme twice. I think thyme is an important herb to tap into. That is so coming through, and I'm even seeing that here. And that is going to help specifically. Whoa, I'm going to have to do a separate reading on this if this is true. But I just heard that it can help with inflammation from gluten. And most of us still partake in gluten, and many of us don't have any idea how much it might actually be affecting or impacting our internal health. So, yeah, I'm going to make a mental note to do a reading on, is thyme as an herb or supplement helpful for reducing inflammation, specifically from gluten. All right, next we have the Three of Wands. Look at this transformational energy again. The butterflies coming up from the bottom of the barrel, from the depths, rising up through this passionate fire energy of these two supportive wands on the outside that are coming together to grow this third wand that is just on fire, electrified, but a beautiful, sparkly fire, a fire of transformation. It's very much a spiritual fire. And again, I'm seeing what looks like wheat to me. So there's something about wheat and heat and inflammation. Okay, I think they want to put the word out there for themselves as well. That wheat gives a lot of heat to them in their bodies, and if you could help them with alternatives, I'm going to put my personal 2 cents in here with my own knowledge as a doctor of chiropractic. I have some experience with nutrition and health overall. Personally, for me, when I turn to gluten-free alternatives like breads that are made with other grains or desserts or whatnots that mimic wheat or give you a bread, I honestly have just as much trouble digesting those, if not more. So, my recommendation, if anyone is listening that is a caretaker or a family member of an autistic individual, to just try to go around a bread alternative and do something else, like a lettuce wrap or just something over rice or quinoa or beans or something like that, where it's just not about having it in a sandwich form or in between bread. Okay, I just have to give a shout out because that came through twice. And lastly, here we have the Two of Wands. And to me, I find that interesting because I was thinking of this card looking at the Three of Wands. It reminds me of these two wands that have matured and sprouted, something that is greater than the sum of its parts. So, how do you want this message to come through here with the Two of Wands supporting the Three of Wands? Oh, of course. By working together with non-speakers and autistic individuals, we are going to create a reality, an earth experience, a healing and a growth and a transformation that supersedes the sum of its parts. So it's literally beyond what we can comprehend right now, because we can only see the parts and add them up and maybe imagine, guess, assume, predict what can come. So I'm going to show it to you in this way. Look at this card with these cool rocky mountains in the background that are reflecting light and also holding all that darkness all in one. And then these two fiery wands are coming together into this focal point, this transformational point, and I'm hearing infinity heart loop. There's something to that as well. And that is going to bring to life this. Now look at how these two wands that started here just as pure passion and energy and electricity, they have grown. They have grown into, again, shafts of abundant wheat, and they've diversified and unified in a way that has brought through this bloom, this flower that's radiating energy out with all this cosmic starlight and this light of transformation that started at the roots. So we're really, I think, just at the beginning of this transformation of uniting our energy with these members of the hill. And I I guess this picture speaks louder than words. I'm just so excited for that magic. I'm going to tune in more to that flower, how it's rippling out like a kaleidoscope effect. And it's just like a kaleidoscope. I'm seeing that now. It's going to keep changing form and transmitting energy outward in a way that will surprise and delight us, frankly. Wow. I just can't thank you enough for this message from the hill. And working through a particular color frequency made it much easier for me to get clarity on the message coming through as well as the details. And so beautiful, so delightful. I look very much forward to whatever other messages want to come through. I'm going to continue doing this every week and see where this takes us. Such an honor. Thank you, anyone or all of you that contributed to transmitting this message to me and through me. I wish you all a beautiful week. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you may do so by going to my website, intuitivegardentarot.org, and all the information is there to book a tarot reading with me. Take care. Bye-bye.